Ice Age was a popular children's movie released in 2002 that featured some funny and memorable animal characters as they attempted to save and return a human baby during the Ice Age. My personal favorite character was Sid the Sloth. But what I wondered is this really an accurate depiction of a sloth? So I began my little obsession and research over sloths. According to Lucy Cook at the National Geographic Journal, the sloth is the world's slowest animal, so sedentary that algae can actually grow on its furry coat. My personal only real-life encounter with a sloth was when one came into my work at Texas Veterinary Medical Diagnostic Lab from the Houston Zoo. I was so surprised that even our exotic animal pathologist, Dr. Oliveira Fabiano, was unsure of its organs and how the internal system of a sloth worked compared to your normal monogastric or animal with a one-compartmented stomach works. Sloths have been popping up more recently in social media, such as The Chive, and made into some pretty funny animal memes, which further piqued my interest in these cute, fuzzy animals. Today, I'm going to give you all a brief overview of the sloth, beginning with where this animal originates from, what is so different about the sloth, and lastly, who are their closest relatives. So, let's begin with where these animals can be found. Most of the large zoos in the United States have sloth exhibitions, such as the Dallas and San Diego Zoo. There are multiple sanctuaries around the world protecting and preserving the species, such as the Sloth Sanctuary in Costa Rica. The two-toed sloth is found in South and Central American countries, including Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Panama, Peru, and Venezuela. They are most prevalent in the Amazon rainforest basin of central Brazil and Peru. As tree-dwelling animals, sloths live in the canopies of jungles in the previously mentioned countries. According to Nina Sen at Live Science, sloths are classified as folivores, as the bulk of their diet consists of buds, tender shoots, and leaves that they find in their habitats. Some two-toed sloths have even been documented as eating insects, small reptiles, and birds as a supplement to their diet. Leaves, their main food source, provide very little energy or nutrition and do not digest easily. So therefore, sloths have large, specialized, multi-compartmented stomachs in which symbiotic bacteria breaks down the tough leaves. Which leads me into what is different about the anatomy of a sloth. Sloths are identified by the number of long, prominent claws they have on each front foot. There are both two-toed and three-toed sloths. A researcher at the Discovery Channel, Jennifer Viegas, states that all sloths are built for life in the treetops. They spend nearly all of their time hanging from branches with a powerful grip aided by their long claws. Dead sloths have been known to retain their grip and remain suspended from a branch. It had once been thought that sloths were amongst the most lazy animals, sleeping from 15 to 18 hours a day. Recently, however, Dr. Neil Rattenberg and his colleagues of the Max Planck Institute of Ornithology in Starnberg, Germany, published a study testing sloth sleep patterns in the wild. This is the first study of its kind, and it actually indicated that sloths sleep under 10 hours a day, but even when they are awake, they remain motionless. At night, they eat leaves, shoots, and fruit from the trees and get almost all of their water from these juicy plants. On land, sloths' weak hind legs provide no power, and their long claws are a hindrance. They must dig into the earth with their front claws and use their strong front legs to pull them along, dragging their bellies across the ground. If caught on land, these animals have no chance to evade predators, such as cats, and must try to defend themselves by clawing and biting. Although they couldn't be clumsier on land, they are surprisingly good swimmers. They sometimes fall directly from rainforest trees into the rivers of the rainforest and stroke efficiently with their long arms. Researchers at the Sloth Sanctuary of Costa Rica state that sloths mainly leave their tree to urinate and defecate only once a week. Leaving the tree makes them vulnerable to predators like the eagle and jaguar. Sloths have large, specialized, slow-acting stomachs with multi-compartments, in which symbiotic bacteria break down the tough leaves. As much as 2/3 of a well-fed sloth's body weight consists of the contents of its stomach, and the digestive process can take a month or more to complete. Another cool difference is that almost all animals have 7 cervical vertebrae or neck bones, including those with very long necks and very short necks, like the elephant, whale, and giraffe, although there are a few exceptions, such as the manatee and the two-toed sloth, which each have only 6 cervical vertebrae. But the 3-toed sloth has 9 vertebrae, which allows them to be able to turn their heads almost all the way around their neck, up to 270 degrees in either direction. Being so different from most mammals, who are sloths related to? Sloths are xenophons. Their closest relatives include anteaters and armadillos. Large curved claws and powerful forelimbs for digging are common xenophon traits. It's likely that the last common ancestor of the 2- and 3-toed sloths share these characteristics. Now sloths are commercially available in pet stores and are in fact legal to own in multiple states. The world's slowest animal that is a surprisingly good swimmer. So maybe the classic 2- and 3-toed sloth isn't comparable to Slid the Sloth. And maybe Michael Phelps has some competition in the coming years. Thanks, and gig 'em.